This is Gabriel Souza, my old coach. He gave me my blue belt. I was with him for about a year and a half till I moved across the United States to Seattle, but came back for Thanksgiving. We had an amazing round. I want to go over some of the things that are going through my head, some of the concepts that I'm using to try to keep up with him. All right, he is a black belt world champion, just generally one of the best in the 66 kg division. So putting myself to the test here and give you guys an insight on what's going through my head. So first of all, before you click off, I will stand up. I promise I will stand up. You guys will see some wrestling here in a second, but Gabriel is one of the best guard passers in the world, and I've been working on this new thing, this new guard, and I wanted to test it out against him. And you can see right off the bat, he's already countering me. So this is, going up against people that are much higher skill level than me. I'm always trying to bring new things to the table and see, how am I going to attack it against them? How are they going to counter it? And then build my game around those reactions. So whenever one thing just in general, going up against higher belts, I'm fishing for their reactions. How are they going to react when I put my arm here and start threading my leg over? And then off of those reactions, I'm building my game and I'm building counters to those reactions. So when you go against lower belts or people that you're higher skill level than, now you're testing that out. And more importantly, you're gaining skill and you're getting that experience. And I think that's kind of how I structured my training in the last few months. And I feel like I've really, really progressed in the last few months, especially in the leg department. So what I did right here with Gabriel, okay, I have both feet on the outside. Now, generally, I'd always tell you, try to maintain feet in front of your opponent. All right. But I'm playing 2 feet on the outside. Now what's allowing me to do this is I have a hand right here that's pulling Gabe's leg in as I push his torso away with my feet. Okay. So I'm creating a lot of tension throughout this part of his body in hopes that I can start attacking this leg. Now, one thing that Gabriel did really well is as I go and I shoot for this, all right, I'm trying to pull this leg in, throw this leg behind him, and shoot this leg across his hip to start attacking the leg. He's not just a normal black belt, okay? He's seen something like this before, all right? So watch, he's going to use this hand. It's going to shoot down, block this leg from coming in, and he's going to run a north-south here. So boom, just starts threatening that north-south and shuts down my guard entirely. So, Gabe's obviously a really, really strong athlete. I've been aware, he's a really strong athlete. I saw how he reacted. I'm able to study this footage. Now I'm going to go back to the drawing board and start to counter that. So, as we do that, even though he's a black belt and, one of the best athletes in the world, I'm just trying to maintain my concepts and ideas. And one of the biggest concepts that we can look at from guard is I'm always trying to get my hips under his hips and make connections to his legs. Okay. So you're going to see me use my hands here to start connecting to his ankles, and I'm going to try to drag my hips under him. Now, as this happens, I'm using my feet to weave between his legs. And if I can get this foot off the ground, okay, that's one of the other big concepts that I have from guard. If I can get a foot off the ground, I have control of their weight. And now when I start to off balance them, it'll be easier to make them fall over. So getting that foot, I'm going to use my other feet to start pressing down on his hips, and I can make him fall. So obviously Gabe isn't going competition speed here. And honestly, his style kind of lives in the pocket. He kind of likes to play within that fire, So getting him down is one thing, keeping him down, whole different game. All right. But I'm spinning through here on this angle lock. Once again, if I can maintain the foot off the ground, I have a lot of ability to off balance him. So you'll see in the sequence here, just try to notice when his foot's off the ground, I have control. Okay. So foot goes off the ground. I'm doing pretty well. Topple him over, foot's still off the ground. Gets his balance back. All right. Now he's stable again. Foot's off the ground. Now I'm in control. All right. Foot's off the ground. I look pretty good. Foot goes on the ground. Now he's back in his composure. Now he can get into his offense. But that entire time I maintained his foot off the floor. I felt pretty comfortable there. There was a strong ability for me to present offense and a lesser ability for him to defend my offense. But as soon as he gets his foot on the floor, you got to be ready because this guy's going to go. All right. So spins around, starts diving into north-south. Now, the second concept that I want to talk about here is as you watch this video, you're going to notice I'm oftentimes able to defend his passes when my elbow and knees are connected. And he's reversing that. So you're going to see it here in a second. All right. I'm safe. Elbow and knees are connected. Still safe, still safe. Disconnects my knee from my elbow. All right. Less safe. Occupies the space between my knee and elbow. Now my guard is passed. Okay, so whenever you're playing guard, that elbow and knee connection, especially on your back, very, very important. when he won, it's because he disconnected that knee and elbow. And he passed my guard, started going on this anaconda. I think he just let it go. I don't really think he was trying too hard on that. But like I said, we're standing up. Okay, I'll wrestle a little bit. Now, one thing that I do a lot is I hang on the collar tie, which isn't great. But you guys can see every time I'm grabbing this collar tie, he's immediately turning his head and hitting this really easy Russian grip. So little duck action there. I think about going on the single leg, but then I'm like, I'm going to get Uchimated. So I didn't do that. We both go for duck unders. I shoot one and I almost get flying triangled. All right. He's a black belt world champion. We got to be ready for that. He starts working on this K guard. Now, one thing that I'm experimenting with a lot recently is the berimbolo. So anytime I can tuck my knee behind yours and grab that same hip, I'm going to start attacking the berimbolo. Now, he did have his knee in front of me as well, so I didn't really quite get there. Ended up back on bottom, which isn't great. Kind of brain farting. I need to slow down, okay? Whew. There's just a lot happening, and I want to, give you guys everything that's going through my head, but there's just so much. You have to be so aware with guys of this level. But we're going to reset back. Oh, actually, no, my bad. So, all right, now watch. Very good concept with the elbow and knee connection, all right? He starts pushing the shins away and starts disconnecting the elbow and knee. If this doesn't pass, it's going to wear me out a lot, all right? I would have to use a lot of energy to start getting back into a guard. Now we're going back into my, I call it reverse K for now. The name is going to change because I think that's taken already, but that's kind of what I had to start with. So feet are on the outside, but I have the leg hooked. So I'm generally safe if I can maintain tension on the body. He starts putting this hand down to block the leg, and I grab it. So I grab it with this, and I can start using my elbow to lift the leg up and start peeling that hand away. Okay, so this comes up. I'm able to get this leg back in. I swing this leg out. All right, now, once again, I'm able to get this leg over. I thread it through, and I shoot onto a leg attack. So I'll just let you guys watch that one more time. Gabe also mentioned, the other thing that happened here is right there, he kind of hit his thumb on the mat. So I think he wasn't defending this as much as he could have. But either way, we get into the leg. And as we roll through here, you're going to see me use my feet to start pressing his knee away as I thread my other leg inside to saddle. Now, unfortunately, I don't know if you guys have ever seen Gabriel, but it's almost impossible to leg lift this guy. He's just so good at avoiding that stuff. Now we reset. All right, we're playing guard. He starts passing using this double ankle grip and backing in a north-south. Drops down once again. My elbow and knee gets compromised. All right, he drops that arm down in front, disconnects the elbow and knee, and just starts diving in north-south. I'm forced to turtle here, and he starts locking up on the headlock. And this is where things get not so great, all right? If you guys have watched Gabriel, he's pretty violent when he locks onto that submission, all right? So he just stands up, throws that leg in, dives into the guillotine, and rolls right in the mount, finishing that guillotine. And there's his signature style finish rear naked choke coming up too. So I'm excited to show you guys that. I think this is like, whenever I see this, I'm like, oh, that's a Gabe thing. So you guys will see that here in a second. Now, can we just appreciate the confidence that I have going into this? All right. Like, as a black belt, when I become a black belt one day, if someone else tries to foot sweep me, I'm fucking them up. Like, I don't know why. I'm just like, I'm always afraid to like foot sweep guys that are like much better than me, because I'm like, if I hit this on you, you're going to beat my ass. So didn't get it, thankfully. We're going for a sweep single. Gabe, once again, just frantically runs to my back, and here we go. So one thing that Gabe loves to do, I see this in a lot of his matches, he likes to grab the face, lift it up as he drags that hand in there. It's nasty. It's cool. It's not a dirty move, in my opinion. But it's his hands are in your face. But he gets the second submission and sits down, lets me play some passing. So, coming from Gabe, I've developed a lot of my passing style similar to his. And one thing that I want to talk about is, you'll notice, and I wish I had mentioned this earlier, but you're going to notice both of us are always constantly moving side to side. We're never attacking just one angle. We're always going back and forth. So As he sits down here, we are on Gabe's right side. Okay, now I'm going to start on the right and I go to the left side. All right, now he's defending left, so I'm going to cut back to the right. You're going to see my right arm here, dive onto the hip, grab across his belly, and start to work on this stack pass. All right, there we go. And the reason that's working is because as I cut off to his left here, I know this leg is going to come up to defend. So if I dive my head in, I know this leg's going to come up. So I start to lower, right? The leg comes up just a little bit, and I'm very, very quickly sitting down to my butt to get the stack, and then I'll start to build up to my knees and my feet. All right. Trying to lock hands here and push my hips in, but that straight arm is just giving me a lot of problems. He dives through. Notice as he dives through, this gets very dangerous, all right? There's a lot of leg attacks that come here, so I'm going to start to sprawl and work my belly backwards until my stomach's over his head again. Cool. Once again, I'm going to stay on the left, switch to the right side, and once again, the leg comes up. So pushing left. All right, I know that he's going to open his hips, start to bring his legs back this way. So scooping the leg, trying to get up on this stack pass. But, you know, what am I going to do? All right, it's fucking Gabriel Souza. All right, grabbing, dude, it's just like anything I did against him, it just felt like it was he just was not moving. All right, but I want you guys to see this in real time here. So cutting off the left, going back right, grabbing the stack pass, connecting my hands, trying to pull those hips in, dives through, getting heavy on my hips. Once again, I'm trying to just be relentless, all right? I don't want him to breathe for a second, and I just want him to keep having to worry, keep having to react, and try to wear him out. I don't really know if that was the best strategy against someone that like has 10 times the conditioning and experience than me, but in the end, none of that really matters. He puts me in saddle, the round ends, and that's going to wrap it up. So hope you guys learned something. If you did, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.